Hello, if you like this video, please rate, comment, share and subscribe. If you dislike it, and this applies to everybody else who watches any video, whatever, please tell people why, including me, so that they don't just stay rubbish, because on the whole people do want to get good. I think I might have done this before, I hope I haven't, my memory's improving. I wanted to talk today about doing the hoovering, or the vacuuming, if you don't want to be generically trademarky about it, in Dunedin. In theory, I don't know how much my assets are worth, but if I got a passport and I sold all my stuff and I bought a ticket to New Zealand and I went to Dunedin and I chose a random house, knocked on the door and said, "Would you like your hoovering done?" And suppose they said yes, then probably their judgment isn't very good, because obviously this weirdo from Britain has just turned up on their doorstep and offered to do their hoovering, and that's a really suspect thing to do. I'm going to call it vacuuming actually. Suppose I come to some sort of pre-existing arrangement with a stranger in Dunedin and they had agreed that I could do their hoovering, so I came around and did their hoovering. If I don't do that, if the hoovering doesn't get done because say they're busy that day or whatever, I'm sort of responsible for not having done that hoovering. But the thing is, because I've not done the hoovering in Dunedin, maybe there's some hoovering in Port Stanley that needs to be done, or some hoovering in Bangkok that needs to be done, or something like that. Or maybe somebody in Cape Town needs to have their CDs put away in boxes, or they're in the wrong cases or something, and I'm neglecting that. If I don't decide what I'm responsible for, I'm always going to be responsible for not doing things. There are, to take a more serious example, obviously starving children all over the world, which I could feed, because I could go over there and that individual child could be given the food that I have, and then that would help them survive. Presumably you'd have to do it carefully, obviously, because you've got the whole thing about sorting out protein, energy, malnutrition and all that kind of thing. But I could do that, and I don't, obviously. So to some extent, that responsibility is on everybody's shoulders. Anyone who could do that, in a way, should do it. But you can't take on all those responsibilities. Why don't we generally regard ourselves as responsible for doing the hoovering in Dunedin? Of course, this video is going to fall down if you actually live in Dunedin and need to do the hoovering, because then you will do the hoovering in Dunedin. But if you don't live in Dunedin, if you live in Auckland, Kyoto, whatever, then you will presumably see my point. And the question is really, how do we know what we're responsible for? I'm responsible for this. A few months ago somebody left their front door open and they would have got burgled, I think, if we hadn't realised that they'd gone away for the weekend and left their door open. I need to pick up the litter outside maybe. I picked up a crisp packet today. I didn't throw that crisp packet down, but you know, maybe I should have picked it up. I did pick it up, I stuck it in a bin. Was that my responsibility? I don't know. What I'm asking you is, when can you tell what you're responsible for? Because a lot of people, they have this idea that they're responsible for a lot of things way out there in the world, and I think to some extent they are, because, you know, I buy clothes that are made in sweatshops. That's probably not very good. If they doubled their wages, it would make basically no difference to how much I pay for them. And I do regard myself as responsible for that. I mean, but why am I responsible for that when I'm not responsible for doing the hoovering in Dunedin? So that's my question to you today. Why shouldn't I sell all the stuff I have, fly over to New Zealand and do a random person's hoovering? See you tomorrow.